All right, everybody. Welcome back to Make Your Mark Sports Channel / Sports Podcast. It's your boy Mark here again. And the topic today is going to be, is Jayson Tatum, should he be viewed as the number one small forward going into next season? I saw a list on the site called hoopshype.com, and they had him number one, above LeBron, KD, Kawhi, guys like that. The three small forwards that have been the most preeminent small forwards of the past decade. Now, of course, Kawhi Leonard was injured all of last season. Now, when we think about a healthy Kawhi, we know what he can do, but he did miss all of last season, so we do have to see him come back and still be dominant. And on top of that, Jayson Tatum is getting better year by year. Now, some of the things that Jayson Tatum has to work on is his efficiency, his shot selection. In the finals, he was, a turnover machine. So he has to just, be patient on the court. He has to raise his IQ overall. He has all the talent in the world as a scorer, even as a playmaker as well. He can do everything very well. He has to just work on taking his time on the court and just letting the game come to him naturally, not trying to force anything. But when it comes to raw talent, he's up there with anybody. And after this last run that the Celtics had last year and the playoff run that he had individually, to a degree, I do understand why, at least at this exact moment, why he should be put at number one. Once again, Kawhi missed all of last year. And I predicted that Jayson Tatum should have been on the All-NBA first team last year. It was kind of by default at first because LeBron missed time due to injury, and KD did as well. But at the same time, LeBron's team did not even make the playoffs. They didn't even make the play-in. So, what do you do with that when you have a player like Jayson Tatum whose team, of course, yeah, he had a team around him, but, he was the star player on a team that was the hottest team in the second half of the season and also finished as the number 2 seed in the East and made a run all the way to the finals. So what do you do with that? And then not to mention, let's factor in the Kevin Durant. Yeah, Kevin Durant statistically, he had a better season last year than Jayson Tatum, but we saw what happened in the first round. Now, of course, we can say the Nets had chemistry issues. We can point at coaching. We can do all that. But the Nets got swept. And all 4 of those games were winnable games for the Nets. They didn't have to get swept. I don't care who their coach was. And Jayson Tatum outplayed Kevin Durant. That's just the bottom line. And I think we have to really look at some of these playoff matchups, like who outdoes who. Especially when in the regular season it was close. Like I said, Jayson Tatum, his overall efficiency might not have been quite at the level of a KD or LeBron. But at the same time, when it comes down to the playoffs, when it matters the most, we got to factor in who performs well and who doesn't. KD did not play that well in last year's playoffs. Jayson Tatum, he was dominant in each round other than the finals. I mean, he had his struggles in certain games here and there too, but, he was an elite. He played at an elite level for the most part all the way until the finals. So at the end of the day, you have to factor in those type of things when it comes to comparing these players right now. See, a lot of times we get caught up in what players have done in their career, and when they haven't just drastically fallen off yet, it's hard to kind of move off them like a KD, LeBron, etc. But when we're talking about right now, and we have to remember the Celtics, they've been a team, once again, Jayson Tatum has been getting better each year. And they've been a team that's been knocking on the door, and they finally broke through and got to the finals. So it's not like this is really out of nowhere like that. Jayson Tatum and them have been coming. All right? LeBron and KD, they're not going to be the best players forever. It's just not going to happen. They've both been, especially LeBron, he's been fighting off Father Time for sure. But at the same time, we got to look at impact. And I've just been talking about offensively thus far. Jayson Tatum right now is better than both of them defensively. He just brings more effort night in and night out on the defensive end. He just does. So we had to factor all those things in. So at this exact moment, right now, just right now, I don't have a problem with Jayson Tatum being ranked number 1 in the league as a small forward. Even if that sounds crazy, to me, it's not that absurd at all, really. I have to see LeBron next year with a healthy AD. I have to see them be competitive and try to make a run. I just got to see it again. I got to see them bounce back. And like I said, last year, I didn't expect LeBron and them with AD injured to win the finals, get to the finals and win. But I did expect them to make the playoffs. All right. I have to see KD, whatever team he's on next year, I got to see him bounce back and, help whatever team he's on be competitive again and, be dominant in the playoffs like we're accustomed of seeing him do. I got to see him bounce back from last year. You can't get swept last year and have a poor performance like that. And when we're comparing you to other small forwards, the main one that we're talking about, you got outplayed by him. That's just the bottom line. I got to see Kawhi Leonard come back and be strong. And to be honest, I think I already talked about the Clippers. I think that Kawhi will come back next year and look pretty similar to what we've seen. But once again, Jayson Tatum is getting better. There's some things he has to work on, but he's getting better. And after the run that he and the Celtics had last year, for right now, you got to kind of put him in that spot until we see what happens next year. A lot of these things change season by season. It's not just one player that's just the best every season. Of course, you have sometimes like a LeBron who had a run of dominance where he was viewed as the best player in general for a while. Of course, it's been competitive between him and some other players like KD, etc. But at the same time, sometimes it does change season by season, just based off how certain players perform. And last year, Jayson Tatum and the Celtics, they went the furthest out of all these teams or all these players that we're talking about. And his individual dominance stood out enough to the point where I feel like he deserves that spot for now. So anyways, that's just my opinion. Like I said, we'll see what happens next year. I just wanted to cover that topic. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys enjoyed the video, for you guys that are new, that are just seeing this video, check out my page. There's a lot more on there, and there's a lot more to come. So once again, everybody have a blessed day. All praise be to the Most High. Thank you again.